with Crypto 8 Finance. Today we're going to be talking about Kadena, which is a unique proof of work layer 1 that has a lot of things going for it right now. It's very, very unique and has a lot of potential, which is why I'm extremely bullish on it. So let's start off with, what does Kadena claim? It claims it's a truly scalable loop proof of work layer 1. What do we know about proof of work? So it's important for us to understand with proof of work, it is one of the most secure forms of proof out there. Compared to Bitcoin, for example, Kadena maintains the same security as it claims. However, they've solved the scalability issue. As it says over here, unlike other platforms, Kadena is designed to power global financial systems. Their protocol continually scales to higher transactions per second as more chains are added to the network. So everyone knows how solid Bitcoin security is, but that security comes with a price in speed. Kadena say they have solved this issue. So let's move forward. How have they done this? Actually, first, let's discuss some of the market behind Kadena, and we'll look at some of the metrics behind Kadena. Currently, Kadena is trading at around a price of 11.22, down from its all-time high of, I believe, $28 or $29. So Kadena's had quite a run since July. If having a look at the 3 month chart, yeah, it's had quite a nice run. It's pulled back here. We'll do some technical analysis in a bit, but let's start off with their market cap. Their market cap's only 1.8 billion. This is their market cap currently, and this is based on the amount of tokens in supply. You have to remember, guys, that KuCoin only allowed wallet extensions a couple days ago. KuCoin was preventing Kadena from moving off to other exchanges and was only available on CoinMetro and a few other exchanges. So now let's talk about Kadena's market rank. It's ranked 69, so it's not very high, and it actually has a lot more potential in my opinion. However, moving on, let's talk about Kadena and let's look at their tokenomics. So I firstly want to talk about their Kadena token. This is their token economic model. It's a supply of 1 billion tokens. Now, that might seem like quite a lot. However, it's to be mined over 120 years. Now, what I like about this project in particular is that their founders are looking much, much further into the future. They're looking at the ways which Kadena can scale for the future, hence why it's continuously scalable. If you compared it to Solana, Solana is scalable with hardware, but Kadena is just continuously scalable by adding and braiding more chains. Um, if you look at the Chainweb Layer 1 protocol, Chainweb Layer 1 is something I think everyone here should read, and I've got a little bit more about Chainweb in a second. But basically, Chainweb Layer 1 allows for chains to be multiply braided. As of this video, there is 20 chains. However, they have plans to scale out to 50 and 100 with more energy and upwards of 1,000. Each of these chains is connected in a complex web, and that's capable of providing over 480,000 transactions per second. So if we come down to their website again, they have the same kind of thing. They're going to have DeFi, NFT, and payments. They've got governance. They have a lot of things. Their community is very great and very strong as well, which I think is quite bullish for the project. It's important to have a good community behind them because they can keep adding more chains to the network. With Chainweb, this can allow for scaling transactions in tens of millions per second, all while keeping the proof of work security. So I've actually got a little bit here of how Chainweb works, and I think it's important you guys should see this. This is essentially their model of Chainweb working. Let's zoom in slightly, zoom out. There you go. This is Chainweb starting. This is how they're adding more and more chains. This is exactly Kadena's model into adding more and more chains. As you can see, it's just continuously scaling. And let's have a look at this. Let's zoom in slightly so we can see more. Continuously scaling, continuously moving, continuously building more and more chains, all while keeping that proof of work security. It's just one of the reasons why I'm bullish. And now if we're looking at let's have a look at Kadena, and let's have a look at the supply schedule. So it has a billion tokens, as we've already discussed. It had a private sale back in 2018 at $0.5 per Kadena, but this team, they've locked their tokens up for a significant amount of time, which I think is quite bullish for a project. They're not planning to dump on you guys anytime soon, and I think they're planning to hold their tokens anyways. That's my opinion, it's not financial advice. And let's go back to here. Kadena, I think, have stated on their Twitter they have chosen pretty much the premier next gen chains. Here they are. They're partnered with Terra, Polkadot, Atom, and a number of other different projects, but these are the main three: Terra, Polkadot, and Atom, which, in my opinion, are the premier next gen chains. Um, Also, guys, just a little tip: don't be buying Kadena, wrap Kadena on Uniswap. Perhaps wait for Calyx to come out, buy on KuCoin, buy on Zelcore. There's many different ways to buy it. But what I like about the Flux Kadena partnership, if we go over here, is that Flux and Kadena are partnered. So the DEX Calyx, which is this one, will be fully decentralized on Flux as well. So we're seeing some real collaboration on this ecosystem between Kadena, Flux, and Cadex, soon to be in KDX, and they're working on building a fully decentralized ecosystem. I think this is fully decentralized. It's kind of like Amazon Web3 services you're building on. That's what Flux is about. I'm going to put another video out soon on Flux. Anyways, that brings us to the perfect storm brewing. And now the big tests for the layer ones are: do developers build on them? Do they adopt the tech? Do people want to interact with them? And can it scale? Um, is it worth the 20 to 15 billion market cap it will have? So this is where we see positive and negatives, right? So let's start off with Kadena's smart contract language, um, Pact. Pact is their smart contract language. I believe they have some more here about Pact. No, they don't. However, we'll find that over here. Pact is a human readable smart contract language allowing anyone to write. Essentially, Pact lets developers and non developers write and read on the blockchain. Um, they call it human readable. This is allegedly human readable, and it's been battle tested in production for over 2 years. The cost is the developers actually have to learn a new code to develop on it, but that's what developers do, right? Developers actually have to learn new codes to develop, and they seem to love the ease of Pact and the security that comes with it, and also the gas fees being very cheap. So, onto the DeFi and smart contract development. We've not actually seen much DeFi yet. We've actually not seen any DeFi. NFTs are coming up, launch pads are coming up, which I think you guys should get on. I'm going to put another video out there on the launch pad side of it. But we've not actually seen any decentralized finance. And I'm more interested to know if that's going to occur, and if so, how. Um, so a quote from Kadena is: they say that not only are the smart contracts created in Pact much simpler than those written in other more popular languages, but they tend to fare better at delivering glowing reviews from our auditors. Cadex over here also loves the Kadena gas stations. Um, just $1 covers over $1 million in transactions. And Kadena's already, Cadex is going to have their unique wallet, and I'll talk more about this in a second. They're building their unique wallet as well as a gas-free DEX for Kadena, and their wallet is actually going to be in browser. I believe it should be somewhere here in the next upcoming couple of days. Um, and yeah, it's going to be pretty much the Radium or Trader Joe on Kadena. So I've loaded up on a little bit of Cadex, and the wallet is coming very, very soon. Um, Cadex launches in Q1 of 2022, I believe. And yeah, now I want to move on to a little bit of fun about Kadena. Um, Actually, firstly, let's look at their team. So their team are those who started JP Morgan's emerging blockchain group. Um, but what's the most interesting is Stuart Harbour. There's two Stuarts. There's Stuart Popejoy, who was part of JP Morgan's emerging blockchain group. They have Will Martino, the SEC's cryptocurrency steering committee. But the most interesting is Stuart Harbour, the co-inventor of blockchain and the most cited author in Satoshi Nakamoto's renowned 2008 Bitcoin paper. Like, that's huge. That's insane potential for Kadena, guys. Um, Recently, for the last month, I think, believe since November the 13th, we've been having KuCoin issues, um, temporarily halting withdrawals. for Kadena. Where is Kadena? To coin temporarily halting withdrawals for Kadena. And this is massive. This was on the 13th of November, guys. And what they did is they fixed it recently, but there was a technical issue with K wallet addresses. So that was fixed. So Coin Metro, I think, always had this. So there hasn't been a problem with me buying CADEX. But luckily, these problems are fixed now. So this is when we're actually on the tipping point of chains being about to blow up or fizzle. The narrative is right now they have 480,000 transactions per second. Their DEX is going to be gas free. So we'll see if DeFi safely can develop, if it's easy to develop on, because we know ADA was very difficult for developers to develop on. We've already discussed their team, guys, and I'm just going to say I'm very, very bullish on their team. I think even their younger individuals are very, very well educated from Apple, KPMG, Disney, and they have a lot of links with real world companies, which is what I'm interested in. Um, I think something which people were being bullish. Yeah, so here, this is the team from different areas, as you can see. Um, which is important. And here, this is what I was talking about for Pact. Pact is the most powerful smart contract language, tested in production for over 2 years, guys. Now that's insanely important because for everyone saying Pact is difficult to develop on, this is insanely important for you to understand. Battle tested in production applications. So real world applications that can be used. Um, and this is important as well for you guys to read. It contains formal verification. It's basically already thinking into the future 5, 10 years of blockchain. Um, but one of the things I wanted to quickly discuss with you guys is the FUD behind Kadena and a lot of Sol fans. Me personally, I have nothing against Solana. I think it's going to be amazing when it scales with hardware. But many people from Solana say that Kadena's inflation is insanely high because their product is being constantly mined. However, like Ethereum, Kadena's inflation helps it scale. It won't be fully released for over 100 years, right? And if you think about Bitcoin, it's, I believe, 90% of it's been released or more, and it's only been 10 years. Kadena's yearly inflation works out to be about 10%, whereas Solana's works out to be around 11%. I believe my calculations are correct. Um, so Kadena is probably one of the most bullish projects uh, out there. I think they've got a very nice roadmap coming up, which I'm obviously going to update you guys on. And I think the most important thing for you guys to do is definitely come over here and read the overview of Kadena. I think it's very, very useful for you guys. I think you guys will learn a lot to do with how Kadena is built, and you guys will gain a better understanding. And I think if we pull out the technical analysis, very, very briefly, I'll save for another video on technical analysis on Kadena, but very briefly, technical analysis goes like this. If we go to the yearly, we've had our run up. This is pretty much what you call the hype phase. It's calmed down now. We're accumulating here again. So this is probably a good price point to start accumulating some Kadena between probably around $9 and $12. Obviously, you've got to understand the market right now. There's a lot of FUD going around with China, with India, with Russia. Just be very, very careful, guys. And none of this, what I'm saying to you, is financial advice. Take it how you will. However, Kadena is very, very bullish, in my opinion. And yeah, guys, I think that's it for the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Try sharing this video as much as you can. And thanks, guys.